My name is Brian Hopfey, and I am representing the Weyburn Free Methodist Church. Today's reading will be from Numbers chapter 8 through to the end of chapter 11. I will be reading from the New Living Translation. The Lord said to Moses, "Give Aaron the following instructions. When you set up the 7 lamps in the lampstand, place them so their light shines forward in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did this. He set up 7 lamps so they reflected the light forward, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The entire lampstand, from its base to its decorative blooms, was made of beaten gold. It was built according to the exact design the Lord had shown Moses. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Now set the Levite apart from the rest of the people of Israel and make them ceremonial clean. Do this by sprinkling them with the water of purification, and have them shave their heads and their entire body, and wash their clothing. Then they will be ceremonial clean. Have them bring a young bull and a grain offering of choice flour moistened with olive oil, along with a second young bull for a sin offering. Then assemble the whole community of Israel and present the Levites at the entrance of the tabernacle. When you present the Levites before the Lord, the people of Israel must lay their hands on them. Raising his hands, Aaron must then present the Levites to the Lord as a special offering from the people of Israel, thus dedicating them to the Lord's service. Next, the Levites will lay their hands on the heads of the young bulls, present one as a sin offering and the other as a burnt offering to the Lord, to purify the Levites and make them right with the Lord. Then have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons, and raise your hands and present them as a special offering to the Lord. In this way, you will set the Levites apart for the rest of the people of Israel, and the leaders will belong to me. After this, they may go into the tabernacle to do their work, because you have purified them and presented them as a special offering. Of all the people of Israel, the Levites are reserved for me. I have claimed them for myself in place of the firstborn sons of the Israelites. I have taken the Levites as their substitutes. For all the firstborn males among the people of Israel are mine, both of people and of animals. I set them apart for myself on the day I struck down the firstborn sons of the Egyptians. Yes, I have claimed the Levites in place of the firstborn sons of Israel. And of the Israelites, I have assigned the Levites to Aaron and his sons. They will serve in the tabernacle on behalf of the Israelites and make sacrifices to purify the people, so no plague will strike them when they approach the sanctuary." So Moses and Aaron and the whole community of Israelites dedicated the Levites, carefully following all the Lord's instruction to Moses. The Levites purified themselves from sin and washed their clothes, and Aaron lifted them up and presented them to the Lord as a special offering. He then offered a sacrifice to purify them and make them right with the Lord. After the Levites went into the tabernacle to perform their duties, assisting Aaron and his sons. So they carried out all the commands that the Lord gave Moses concerning the Levites. The Lord also instructed Moses, "This is the rule the Levites must follow. They must begin serving in the tabernacle at the age of 25, and they must retire at the age of 50. After retirement, they may assist their fellow Levites by serving as guards at the tabernacle, but they may not officiate in the service. This is how you must assign duties to the Levites." A year after Israel's departure from Egypt, the Lord spoke to Moses in the first month of that year, he said, "Tell the Israelites to celebrate the Passover at the prescribed time, at twilight on the 14th day of the first month. Be sure to follow all my decrees and regulations concerning this celebration." So Moses told the people to celebrate the Passover in the wilderness of Sinai as twilight fell on the 14th day of the month. And they celebrated the festival there, just as the Lord had commanded. But some of the men had been ceremonial defiled by touching a dead body, so they could not celebrate the Passover that day. They came to Moses and Aaron that day and said, "We have become ceremonial unclean by touching a dead body. But why should we be prevented from presenting the Lord's offering at the proper time with the rest of the Israelites?" Moses answered, "Wait here until I have received instruction for you from the Lord." This was the Lord's reply to Moses. "Give the following instructions to the people of Israel. If any of the people now or in the future generations are ceremonial unclean at Passover time because of touching a dead body, or if they are on a journey and cannot be present at the ceremony, they may still celebrate the Lord's Passover. They must offer the Passover sacrifice 1 month later, at twilight on the 14th day of the second month. They must eat the Passover lamb at that time with bitter salad greens and bread without yeast. They must not leave any of the lamb until the next morning, and they must not break any of its bones. They must follow all the normal regulations concerning the Passover. But those who neglect to celebrate the Passover at the regular time, even though they are ceremonial clean and not away on a trip, will be cut off from the community of Israel. If they fail to present the Lord's offering at the proper time, they will suffer the consequences of their guilt. And if foreigners living among you want to celebrate the Lord's Passover, they must follow these same decrees and regulations. The same laws apply to both native-born Israelites and to the foreigners living among you. On the day the tabernacle was set up, the cloud covered it. But from evening until morning, the cloud over the tabernacle looked like a pillar of fire. This was a regular pattern. At night, the cloud that covered the tabernacle had the appearance of a fire. Whenever the cloud lifted from over the sacred tent, the people of Israel would break camp and follow it. And whenever the cloud settled, the people of Israel would set up camp. In this way, they traveled and camped at the Lord's command, whenever he told them to go. Then they remained in the camp as long as the cloud stayed over the tabernacle. If the cloud remained over the tabernacle for a long time, the Israelites stayed and performed their duty to the Lord. Sometimes the cloud would stay over the tabernacle for only a few days, so the people would stay only for a few days, as the Lord commanded. Then at the Lord's command, they would break camp and move on. Sometimes the cloud stayed only overnight and lifted the next morning. But day or night, when the cloud lifted, the people broke camp and moved on. Whether the cloud stayed above the tabernacle for 2 days, a month, or a year, the people of Israel stayed in camp and did not move on. But as soon as it lifted, they broke camp and moved on. So they camped or traveled at the Lord's command, and they did whatever the Lord told them through Moses. Now the Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver for calling the community to assemble and for signaling the breaking of camp. When both trumpets are blown, everyone must gather before you at the entrance of the tabernacle. But if only one is blown, then only the leaders The heads of the clans of Israel must present themselves to you. When you sound the signal to move on, the tribes camped on the east side of the tabernacle must break camp and move forward. When you sound the signal a second time, the tribes camped on the south will follow you. You must sound short blasts as the signal for moving on. But when you call the people to assemble together, blow the trumpets with the different signal. Only the priests, Aaron's descendants, are allowed to blow the trumpet. This is the permanent law for you to be observed from generation to generation. When you arrive in your own land and go to war against your enemies who attack you, sound the alarm with the trumpets. Then the Lord your God will remember you and rescue you from your enemies. Blow the trumpet in times of gladness too, sounding them at your annual festivals and at the beginning of each month. And blow the trumpet over your burnt offerings and peace offerings. The trumpets will remind your God of his covenant with you. I am the Lord, your God. In the second year after Israel's departure from Egypt, on the 20th day of the second month, the cloud lifted from the tabernacle of the covenant. So the Israelites set out from the wilderness of Sinai and traveled on from the place to place until the cloud stopped in the wilderness of Paran. When the Lord set out for the first time, following the instructions of the Lord, when the people set out for the first time, following the instruction of the Lord God had given Moses, Judah's troops led the way. They marched behind their banner, and their leader was Nahshon, son of Amminadab. They were joined by troops of the tribes of Issachar, led by Nathanael and Zur, and the troops of the Zebulun, led by Eliab, son of Helon. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonite and Merarites, divisions of the Levites, were next in the line of march. Carrying the tabernacle with them, Reuben's troop went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Eliezer, son of Shedeur. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Simeon, led by Shemuel, son of Zerishadiah, and the troops of the tribe of Gad, led by Eliasaph, son of Deuel. Next came the Kohathite division of the Levites, carrying the sacred objects from the temple before they arrived at the next camp. The tabernacle would already be set up at its new location. Ephraim's troops went next, marching behind their banner. Their leader was Elishama, son of Ammihud. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Manasseh, led by Gamaliel and Pedahzur, and the troops of the tribe of Benjamin, led by Abidan, son of Gibeoni. Dan's troops went last, marching behind the banner and serving as the rear guard for all the tribal camps. Their leader was Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. They were joined by the troops of the tribe of Asher, led by Pagiel, son of Ochran, and the troops of the tribe of Naphtali, led by Ahira, son of Enan. This was the order in which the Israelites marched, division by division. One day Moses said to his brother-in-law, Hobab, son of Reuel, the Midianite, "We are on our way to the place the Lord promised us, for he said, 'I will give it to you.' Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised wonderful blessings for Israel." But Hobab replied, "No, I will not go. I must return to my own land." "Please don't leave us," Moses pleaded. "You know the places in the wilderness where we should camp. Come be our guide. If you do, we'll share with you the blessings the Lord gives us." They marched for 3 days after leaving the mountain of the Lord, with the ark of the Lord's covenant moving ahead of them to show them where to stop and rest. As they moved on each day, the cloud of the Lord hovered over them, and whenever the ark set out, Moses would shout, "Arise, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, let them flee before you." When the ark was set down, he would say, "Return, O Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel." Soon the people began to complain about their hardship, and the Lord heard everything they said. Then the Lord's anger blazed against them, and he sent a fire to rage among them, and he destroyed some of the people in the outskirts of the camp. Then the people screamed to Moses for help, and when he prayed to the Lord, the fire stopped. After that, the area was known as Taberah, the place of the burning, because fire from the Lord had burned among them there. Then the foreign rabble who were traveling with the Israelites began to crave the good things of Egypt, and the people of Israel also began to complain. "Oh, for some meat," they exclaimed. "We remember the fish we used to eat free in Egypt. And we had all the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic we wanted. But now our appetites are gone. All we ever see is this manna." The manna looked like small coriander seeds and was pale yellow, like gum resin. The people would go out and gather it from the ground. They made flour by grinding it with hand mills or pounding it in the mortars. Then they boiled it in a pot and made it into flat cakes. These cakes lasted like pastries baked with olive oil. The manna came down on the camp with the dew during the night. Moses heard the family standing in the doorways of their tents, whining, and the Lord became extremely angry. Moses was also very aggravated. And Moses said to the Lord, Why are you treating me, your servant, so harshly? Have mercy on me. What did I do to deserve the burden of these people? Did I give birth to them? Did I bring them into the world? Why did you tell me to carry them in the arms like a mother carries a nursing baby? How can I carry them to the land you swore to give your ancestors? Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people? They keep whining to me, saying, Give us meat to eat. I can't carry all these people myself. The load is far too heavy. If this is how you intend to treat me, just go ahead and kill me. Do me a favor and spare me of this misery. Then the Lord said to Moses, Gather before me 70 men who are recognized as elders and leaders of Israel. Bring them to the tabernacle to stand there with you. I will come down and talk to you there. I will take some of the Spirit that is upon you, and I will put the Spirit on them also. They will bear the burden of the people along with you, so you will not have to carry it alone. And say to the people, Purify yourself, For tomorrow you will have meat to eat. You were whining, and the Lord heard you when you cried, 'Oh, for some meat! We were better off in Egypt.' Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will have to eat it. And it won't be just for a day or two, or for 5, or 10, or even 20. You will eat it for the whole month until you gag and are sick of it. For you have rejected the Lord, who is here among you, and you have whined to him, saying, 'Why did we have to leave Egypt?' But Moses responded to the Lord, 'There are 600,000 foot soldiers here with me, and you say I will give them meat for a whole month? Even if we butchered all our flocks and herds, would that satisfy them? Even if we caught all the fish in the sea, would that be enough?' Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Has my arm lost its power? Now you will see whether or not my word comes true.' So Moses went out and reported the Lord's words to the people. He gathered the 70 elders and stationed them around the tabernacle. And then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke to Moses. Then he gave the 70 elders the same spirit that was upon Moses. And when the spirit rested on them, they prophesied. But this never happened again. 2 men, Eldad and Medad, had stayed behind in camp. They were listed among the elders, but they had not gone to the tabernacle. Yet the Spirit rested upon them as well. So they prophesied there in the camp. A young man ran to Moses. 'Elab and Medad are prophesying in the camp.' Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' assistant since youth, protested, 'Moses, my master, make them stop.' But Moses replied, 'Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all of the Lord's people were prophets, and the Lord would put his spirit upon them all.' Then Moses returned to the camp with the elders of Israel. Now the Lord sent a wind that brought quail in from the sea and let them fall around the camp. For miles in every direction there were quail flying about 3 feet above the ground. When the people went out and caught quail all that day and throughout the night and all the next day too, no one gathered less than 50 bushels. They spread the quail all around the camp to dry. But while they were gorging themselves on the meat, while it was still in their mouths, the anger of the Lord blazed against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague, so that this place was called Kibroth Hattaavah, which means grave of gluttony, because there they buried the people who had craved meat from Egypt. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the Israelites traveled to Hazeroth, where they stayed for some time. The word of the Lord.